Welcome to MALDEF's 2010 Los Angeles Awards Gala. Tonight is brought to you by the generous support of Walmart, helping communities save money and live better. Bank of America, creating meaningful change in communities across America. Southwest Airlines, share the spirit by giving back through volunteerism. And the law firm of Sidley Austin, developing a new generation of lawyers to carry its commitment to excellence, integrity, and diversity. MALDEF is proud to honor Ramona Ripston, the Honorable Mayor of the great city of Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa, international recording artist, Jose Jose, with presentations by Emmy Award nominee Lupe Ontiveros, film producer and actor Keisha Whitaker, from the hit TV show CSI Miami, Adam Rodriguez, and Eva Longoria Parker. With a musical tribute performance by Grammy-nominated recording artist Nidia Rojas. Please welcome your host for this evening, Quique Castillo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please find your seats. Welcome to MALDEF's 2010 Los Angeles Award Gala. MALDEF was founded 42 years ago and has established itself as the Latino legal voice for civil rights in America. That's right. Give a hand to MALDEF. We come together this evening as a community, not only to celebrate MALDEF's work, but also to pay tribute to the distinguished honorees. Tonight's evening would not be possible without the generous support of each of you in the audience. And for that, MALDEF is truly grateful. Our gala chair for this evening is Walmart. Let's take a look at Walmart's impact in the community.
Back in the 80s, it was really tough for me and my family. I was living on welfare, supporting a family of 4. After I got the job at Walmart, things started changing immediately. Then I wrote a letter to the food stamp office. Thank you very much, I don't need your help anymore. You know, now I can actually say I bought my home. I knew that the more I dedicated, the harder I worked, the more that it was going to benefit my family. This is my son Mario, and he now works at Walmart. I believe Mario is following my footsteps. My name is Noemi, and I work at Walmart.
That's right. Speaking on behalf of Walmart is its Executive Vice President and President of Walmart West and Walmart US, Raul Vasquez. Raul oversees stores operations, real estate, public affairs, supply chain, and human resource functions for 1,200 stores in 23 states. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Raul.
Buenas noches. Es un placer estar con ustedes esta noche. Es un placer estar con ustedes esta noche y les traigo saludos de parte de nuestros más de 2 millones de asociados de Walmart, de Sam's Club, claro, aquí en Los Ángeles, del país y de alrededor del mundo. Good evening. It is a pleasure to be here with you tonight, and I bring you greetings from over 2 million Walmart and Sam's Club associates here in Los Angeles, across the country, and around the world. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the MALDEF Awards Gala. On behalf of Walmart, I want to congratulate tonight's honorees, Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, Ms. Ramona Ripston, and last but not least, Jose Jose. In addition, I would also like to recognize Aida Alvarez, a Walmart board member and the former administrator of the U.S. Small Business Administration and a member of Bill Clinton's cabinet. We at Walmart are pleased to support MALDEF's efforts to help people live better by providing them with access to civil rights and education. We at Walmart believe we are making a significant contribution to helping people live better in this country and around the world. We do it through jobs, we do it through greater career opportunities for all of our associates. As one of the largest employers of Latinos in the United States, we have an amazing opportunity to provide career opportunities to more than 171,000 Latino associates. Latinos such as myself, we serve at all levels of our company. We just met Naomi and her son Mario. They are examples of Walmart's commitment to attracting, hiring, and retaining a diverse workforce that reflects the communities we serve. To retain associates like Naomi, Mario, and frankly me, Walmart has also made a commitment to creating and maintaining an environment of inclusion where all associates feel respected and valued. Because we are dedicated to the values of diversity and inclusion, we can better serve our more than 200 million weekly customers and provide a positive work environment for our more than 1.4 million U.S. associates. We know that attracting diverse customers, associates, and suppliers is critical to our success, and our partnership with MALDEF is another example of our commitment to the Latino community. In addition to the support we have provided to MALDEF throughout the years, I want to announce tonight that as part of our company's continued commitment to education and diversity, Walmart has committed $50,000 toward funding the MALDEF Law School Scholarship Program for 2011. We understand and support the importance of ensuring a pipeline of future Latino lawyers who will continue to serve their communities. Thank you, Tom Science, the MALDEF staff, and MALDEF board members for your commitment to the Latino community and our country. Walmart is honored to partner with you. Thank you and have a nice evening, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate if you could keep the sound level down so we can continue with our program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raul. What a generous gift, and it's sure to improve the lives of many young aspiring lawyers. Bank of America has been one of MALDEF's biggest supporters. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a person with true compassion for community service. Throughout his career with the bank, Raul Anaya has served on boards for nonprofit organizations and businesses alike, the California Science Center Foundation, the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association, the Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation, and the advisory boards of the Latino Business Chamber of Greater LA. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Senior Vice President and Commercial Banking Executive for the Greater Los Angeles region for Bank of America Merrill Lynch, Raul Anaya.
Thank you, Kiki. Good evening. Well, on behalf of my 20,000 Bank of America colleagues here in Southern California, it's my privilege to congratulate MALDEF on over 40 years of service to the Latino community and over 35 years of awarding excellence in Los Angeles through these annual awards dinners. I want to congratulate tonight's honorees, an impressive list of leaders, each with a long record of accomplishments and respect in the community. And of course, I'd like to congratulate Tom Sines for the great work that he and his team have accomplished this past year. Because all of us in this room, we all know that Tom has not had much free time these days and is busier than ever. Don't you agree? I mean, Tom, every time I would turn the TV on the last 6 months, he was either on CNN, Fox News, all the major networks. So he is everybody's rock star. So again, Tom, congratulations for the great work that you've done at MALDEF. MALDEF continues to successfully pursue its mission of bringing Latinos into the mainstream of socio-economic and political life through advocacy, communications, education, and litigation. With 2000 being an election year, MALDEF's work is very important and is making a huge difference. Bank of America has always been a strong supporter of MALDEF, and I'm very proud to say that our relationship spans for more than 30 years. And like MALDEF, Bank of America is also very proud to serve the Latino community. It is a community in which we have very deep roots, from the thousands of Latino associates that work at Bank of America, to the thousands of Latino customers that we serve daily in our banking centers, to the Latino leadership team that I lead for the greater Los Angeles area. So tonight is an evening of celebration, so let me again say, congratulations to MALDEF and this year's honorees. Thank you.
Thank you, Raul. I also want to say that everyone looks fantastic tonight. Very proud to be Latina up here. Thank you. Our next presenter has been involved with MALDEF as a member and leader of the board of directors. He is also an author and recently finished writing a book about the intellectual traditions of the Democratic Party, due to be published this coming winter. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome MALDEF's chairman of the board, Tom Reston.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to add my word of thanks to all of you for coming tonight. This is the great granddaddy of all of our fundraising events all over the country. And our roots and anchors are right here in Los Angeles. And so I thank you for coming tonight. First, I would like to recognize my fellow board members who have contributed to MALDEF's advancement over the last year and many, many years before that. I would like to ask each of my colleagues on MALDEF's board to stand and to be recognized. The next thing I want to say, I want to say that I am particularly honored to be able to raise this with you, but saddened as well. This year, our country lost a great former MALDEF leader and a pioneer for civil rights in the United States of America, Mario G. Obledo. Now, I want to ask you please to join me in a moment of silence. If you could join me in a moment of silence in his honor, please. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Obledo was known as the godfather of Latino civil rights, of the Latino civil rights movement, for his efforts to raise the Latinos' profile as a political force in this country. He was one of 13 children. He was raised by his mother, an immigrant in San Antonio. A lawyer by trade, he co-founded MALDEF in the late 1960s and served as its first general counsel. using the courts to fight discrimination against Latinos in the workplace and in public schools. Mr. Robledo co-founded the Hispanic National Bar Association and the National Coalition of Hispanic Organizations, and he played an early leadership role with the Southwest Voter Registration Education Project. MALDEF has produced this tribute video in his memory, and we can watch it now.
Mario was driven by a deep belief in social justice and a love of his community and a pride of who he was and who he represented.
His passion was equal access, voting rights, education.
He comes very close to the term of being irreplaceable.
He gave the impression of someone who was there to save the world.
He founded many organizations and was the lead of many organizations. But to me, Mario was the foundation of MALDEF.
The flavor of MALDEF is Mario.
As Tom Reston, one of the MALDEF board members, said after he passed away, one of our giant oaks has fallen, and I can't think of a better description.
He's a lawyer, was a lawyer. But I think the single thing that Mario should be remembered for is his community organizing. He was very involved with LULAC. He, together with Jesse Jackson, formed the Rainbow Coalition. He was a bridge builder, and law to him and the legal profession was but a tool to achieve social justice.
Over the years, there was so much that Mario did, and so much that we have to be proud of. And the legacy that he has left is so vast.
When he was at MALDEF, when he laid the foundation for the organization, they were doing cases in Texas and Colorado and California that dealt with equity issues, that dealt with the issues of denial of educational opportunities, employment opportunities.
Many of those early litigation cases set the path that others could follow to cement the gains that we have made.
I can't think of too many individuals that have had such an influence, a profound influence on Latino law students.
Anybody who goes to law school in the future who happens to be Hispanic, Mexican American, owes an awful lot to Mario Robledo.
Knowing Mario the way I knew Mario, he's probably in heaven organizing heaven and telling St. Peter and others what to do and what is right and what is wrong. And what I would say to Mario is, you go.
Mr. Robledo's wife, Queda Alcala Robledo, is here with us this evening. Please join me in thanking her for her many years of service alongside her husband. You know where she's coming from?
Thank you, Mr. Reston. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in 25 minutes. Enjoy your dinner. Buen provecho.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you please take your seat? We need to start our show. We kindly ask that you please take your seat. We need to start our show. Thank you so much. Please take your seat.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We are back. If you can please take your seats. We're going to start. I know you're enjoying your delicious dessert. Did everyone enjoy dinner? Yes? Very good? Yes. It looks delicious. Please take your seats. Have some cafecito, enjoy your dessert, but we need everybody to take their seats before we get started, please. All right, I see everybody's almost seated down. I think it's okay if the mayor stands. You know, what am I going to tell him? He's the mayor. Oh my gosh, he listened to me. The power I have at the podium. All right. Well, everybody, we hope you enjoyed your dinner. Yes? Latin music and Latino civil rights have always gone hand in hand. Carlos Santana, Zach de la Rocha, Little Joe y La Familia, Los Tigres del Norte, and Linda Ronstadt, I love her, are just a few of the recording artists whose music has been part of the fabric. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm a wedding. Who am I going to kiss? Have been part of the fabric, the positive change, and the Latino struggle. Today is no different. Thank you. A new generation of young recording artists have begun to emerge and are expressing themselves. Artists like Raúl y Mexaya, who are young but can roar and have the same pounce as their father, Hernán Hernández of the legendary group Los Tigres del Norte. Yes. Raúl y Mexaya have the same philanthropic philosophy as Los Tigres del Norte. After Arizona's SB 1070 law went into effect, they headed to the studio to record Todos Somos Arizona, and it's sure to become an anthem of the Latino movement in Arizona and beyond. Let's take a look at their video.
Yo me puse muy triste porque sabía que mis papás no iban a estar conmigo.
Outside the Arizona State Capitol in Phoenix, protesters are demonstrating at this hour against a new law.
Good evening from New York. Just hours ago, the governor of Arizona signed into law an immigration bill that may, in practical terms, mandate racial profiling.
Todos somos Arizona, ¿qué te pasa? La raza es la razón that all you can chill at home without a care in your zone. We clean your home, cook your food while you sit on your throne without a clue. Damn. There's something wrong with that picture there, no lo puedo creer, no lo puedo entender, no lo puedo ver. Tu forma de ser es lo de ayer, and we Latinos on the rise like blood pressure. Yeah, trying to control us with fear. ¿De qué se trata? Treat us like some animals. Qué desgracia, ya basta. Dictating Nazis to get rid of all of us no va a ser nada fácil.
Solo quiero triunfar y ahora me quieren deportar. Yo nomás quiero trabajar, yo voy a luchar, yo voy a triunfar. Solo quiero triunfar y ahora me quieren deportar. Yo nomás quiero trabajar, yo voy a luchar, yo voy a triunfar.
Mil castigos a todos los enemigos mexicanos, por fortuna hasta la tumba. Soy la esencia de la gente, nopal en la frente. Es muy indecente, de repente quieren cambiar las leyes. El estado del estado, controlado por güeyes, se creen reyes. I really don't understand what they're saying. Te rodean por ser latino, obstáculo en tu camino. Solo quieren que tú caigas en el remolino, sí. Sigue en tu camino por tu destino. Sigue metido en la lucha and for what you believe. White, brown, a black, poor or wealthy, we weigh much more than a pot that's melting.
Solo quiero triunfar y ahora me quieren deportar. Yo nomás quiero trabajar, yo voy a luchar, yo voy a triunfar. Solo quiero triunfar y ahora me quieren deportar. Yo nomás quiero trabajar, yo voy a luchar, yo voy a triunfar.
Quieren ponernos en cadenas like we're ignorant. Dicen que somos libres, sounding like some hypocrites. Quiero reforma, no quiero racismo. Comprehensive immigration reform for all my people. Solo le pido a Estados Unidos, remember that we're all created equal. Balance the good and evil out con una solución adecuada y evaluada para la nación. Pongan atención, es una obligación. Hay que unirnos y tener más comunicación. This is our home, country built on immigrant blood. We're all descendants and connected through love. Come on! Yeah.
Solo quiero triunfar y ahora me quieren deportar. Yo nomás quiero trabajar, yo voy a luchar, yo voy a triunfar. Solo quiero triunfar y ahora me quieren deportar. Yo nomás quiero trabajar, yo voy a luchar, yo voy a triunfar. Solo quiero triunfar y ahora me quieren deportar. Yo nomás quiero trabajar, yo voy a luchar, yo voy a triunfar. Solo quiero triunfar y ahora me quieren deportar. Yo nomás quiero trabajar, yo voy a luchar, yo voy a triunfar.
Woo! That was a really cool video. Raul y Mexaya are here in the audience this evening. Please stand up. Raul y Mexaya have generously decided to donate the proceeds from this song, Todos Somos Arizona, to MALDEF. Thank you, gentlemen. Very kind. Now, the world knows her as Gabrielle Solis on the mega TV hit show, Desperate Housewives. But our community, yes, that's right, Desperate Housewives. But our community knows her as an activist, a philanthropist, and a civil rights leader. Aside from running a business empire that consists of a production company, a restaurant franchise, a fragrance company, and numerous worldwide endorsements like the face of L'Oreal and Pepsi, she takes the light that shines upon her and redirects it to causes important to her heart and our community. She has used her celebrity to bring awareness to new generations of Latinos and has engaged them on issues of immigration, migrant farm workers, children and families with cancer, children with mental disabilities, voter registration, and the 2010 census. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to please welcome the MALDEF board member, Eva Longoria Parker.
Hello, hello. How are you, Jose? How are you? Jose is here. This is exciting. Where's Antonia? Where are you? Hi, Antonia. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Kiki. I love this event. I was standing here a year ago on this stage accepting my award for my community service from MALDEF, and everybody knows me as Gabrielle on Desperate Housewives. You guys better be watching. But everybody knows my heart is when I'm involved in the Latino community and helping with civil rights and the issues that affect our community. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that the need for MALDEF is incredible, especially at this time, and it's never been more important. And I've always wanted to be more involved, and so I joined the board of MALDEF last year. And thank you. I'm very proud of what we're doing. I'm very honored to be on the board. I am very proud to be a spokesperson for MALDEF, especially in the climate that we're in, and I think we have so much more work to do. That's why events like tonight are so important. So thank you everybody who bought a table, every sponsor, David Damien Figueroa, my brother. But tonight is also a special night, not only because we all get to dress up and have a great dinner, but MALDEF is celebrating a coming of age of its parent-school partnership program. And over the past 2 decades, the PSP program has educated nearly 7,000 Latino parents across the United States. Incredible. And they educate them on how to be more involved in their own child's academic success and improving education for the entire Latino community and for all of our children. So I'm also here to show my support for a great, great, great friend of mine, Tom Sines, and his team at MALDEF. I love Tom. I memorize his speeches off NPR and everything else he's on. But he and his team, they have obviously made significant victories, significant legal victories across the country this year, and we should applaud that. I feel like I'm talking, I just got braces, so I feel like I'm talking really funny. I'm not drunk, I just have braces. So I just wanted to show you a video of some of the highlights of MALDEF's work this year.
MALDEF was created by a group of community leaders in the Latino community, lawyers and others, who saw the need in the court system for representation of the Latino community and an organization that was dedicated to promoting the civil rights of Latinos. At the time in 1968, the Latino population was concentrated in the Southwest, as well as with pockets in Chicago, New York, and Florida. And in all of those areas where there were significant Latino populations, there were widespread patterns of exclusion, discrimination at work, discrimination in the schools, discrimination throughout society. And there was a need to be able to call on a legal organization to challenge that exclusion and discrimination in the courts.
The obviously issue on the forefront is what's happening in Arizona, which MALDEF has led the way to oppose.
We've challenged successfully a number of laws that seek at the state or local level to regulate the rights of people based on their immigration status or their presumed immigration status. Right now we're involved in litigation against Arizona's SB 1070, and that builds on other cases, such as our successful challenge to Proposition 187 in California, a previous effort 16 years ago to regulate immigration at the state level with dramatic potential negative effects on the Latino community and everyone in the state.
The E in MALDEF stands for education, and MALDEF has been uncompromising in its efforts to advance the education levels of Latinos in America.
MALDEF attorneys were at the forefront of ensuring equity in education, in particular in the Texas school system, where there existed discriminatory means of financing education that ensured that Latinos and other students who were in property-poor districts didn't have the same resources available for their education as those in property-rich districts. And through a series of cases, MALDEF attorneys fought to ensure that there was a more equitable system of education in Texas.
MALDEF has participated and led national census efforts for Latinos since 1970. And this year, our focus really was not as much the broad Latino community across America, but the hard to count, the very hardest to count Latinos, those people living in the shadows. People were terribly afraid. You know, we really did a very concentrated effort, meeting face to face with people, television PSAs that reached millions, radio PSAs that reached millions. We were in newspapers across the country.
What I'm most proud of about MALDEF is how it has withstood the test of time as an organization for the advocacy and litigation and education of Latinos in America, and that they have been surviving and fighting relentlessly to
protect the constitutional rights of Latinos living in America.
A particular, barely recent case went to the Supreme Court, where MALDEF attorneys argued for the creation of an additional Latino-majority congressional district in Texas, and had to take it to the Supreme Court, where MALDEF prevailed in ensuring that there would be another district for the Latino community in Texas.
I felt really proud of the fact that when we testified before Congress, that those members of the subcommittee felt that we had done an incredible outreach effort and wanted to use our work as a model for how it should be in grassroots communities.
To still be the leading advocacy organization of the Latino community, to be the lawyers of the Latino community, I take pride in that. I take pride in knowing not only I'm a board member, but knowing that our community is in great hands.
I know that coming into MALDEF a year ago as its new president and general counsel, I'm here to build on a long legacy of successful legislative advocacy throughout the country. In 42 years, MALDEF has done so many things that anyone would be proud to be associated with this organization. I'm most proud of the fact that we continue, after 42 years, to work hard across the country in multiple areas to ensure that the civil rights of Latinos are respected and promoted.
It is a new era. The landscape of America has been changing in a Latino way for a while. I see great things for MALDEF. The future is bright for MALDEF, especially under the leadership of Tom Sines. They have proven time and time again that they are the first organization to take action legally and say, we are going to protect our community through the Constitution of the United States. Great things lie ahead. Every challenge that is going to face the Latino community, MALDEF welcomes it.
Amazing work, amazing work. I would love to take this moment to thank Walmart for their $50,000 donation to the MALDEF Scholarship Fund for our future Latino lawyers. Thank you very much. Very, very important. It's my pleasure now to introduce my very good friend, the President and General Counsel of MALDEF, Tom Sines.
Thank you, Eva. I coordinated my bow tie with your dress. Thank you, Eva, for your generous introduction and for all of your support for MALDEF. Welcome, everyone, to MALDEF's 36th Annual Los Angeles Awards Gala. I want to thank our dinner chair, Walmart. Thank you, Raul, for your tremendous announcement of support for our scholarship program that will ensure that the future generation of civil rights lawyers are ready to serve. And thank you to Bank of America, thank you, Raul, for your support over many, many years. It is a privilege to have you all here as we acknowledge and celebrate another year of accomplishments in the promotion of civil rights for all Latinos living in the United States. It is a privilege to have you all here as we acknowledge the hardworking staff of MALDEF at our Los Angeles headquarters and throughout the nation. I ask MALDEF staff to please stand as we thank you for your ongoing sacrifice in pursuit of our critical mission. It is a privilege to have you all here, especially because there are so very many of you, as I recognize the many MALDEF board members, past and present, who are with us this evening. Board members and alumni, please stand again as I thank you for the honor of leading such a great organization, and as we all thank you for your service to MALDEF. It's always important to acknowledge the bosses, past and present. It is a privilege to have you all here as we celebrate the 21st anniversary, the coming of age, if you will, of our groundbreaking parent-school partnership program. Let me acknowledge my esteemed predecessor, Antonia Hernandez, under whose visionary leadership the PSP program which has graduated literally thousands of parents nationwide, was commenced. It is a privilege to have you all here as we remember one of our civil rights pioneers, Mario G. Obledo. And of course, it is a privilege to have you all here as we honor and congratulate our esteemed honorees, the gracious and generous Jose Jose, the wise and iconic Ramona Ripston, and my former boss, the courageous and accomplished Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa. Tonight, we are here, as we have been so many times before, in the immediate aftermath of an historic election. An election in which the Latino community confounded the expectations of far too many in both parties by voting in record proportion of the electorate and by altering the nationally expected outcome. To those who expected otherwise, and particularly to those who built campaigns and would seek to build a movement around demonizing Latino immigrants and their descendants, we can only advise that you wise up. Because we will not go back. We will not go back to an historical era when an entire nation and people was demonized to support a war of expansion. And today, studied attempts to characterize new immigrants as invaders will not push us back. We will not go back to an era when our community's right to be and to remain present was subject to the vicissitudes of our economic cycle and to the recurrent fears of some about culture change or economic security. And no contemporary and temporarily successful attempt to block the DREAM Act, ag jobs, and other appropriate measures to recognize immigrant contributions will push us back. We will not go back to an era when school children could be segregated and denied an education on the basis of race, national origin, language, or immigration status, and no contemporary attempt to derogatorily diminish our community's children as anchor babies will push us back. There are certainly some, inside and outside this room, who would assert, with gleeful malice or with mournful resignation, that we have already gone back to those dubious times. But to the latter, we must say, do not lose faith. We will push forward. Because yes, our community is anchored. Our babies, past, present, and future, are anchored. Our parents, past, present, and future are anchored. Our allies in other communities, past, present, and future, so many of whom are joyously present this evening, are anchored. We are anchored in this land and this nation. Indeed, in every region and every state of this nation. So we will push forward and achieve a nationwide respect for our community and its ongoing contributions. More specifically, we will achieve, in 2011, a redistricting nationwide that fully recognizes our community's permanence and political strength through fair representation in Congress, in our state legislatures, and in our city councils and school boards in every region. We are anchored in an abiding belief in the constitutional values, structural and rights-based, that are the foundation of our national success. So we will push forward and achieve a law and order agenda that begins with respect for that sacred 220-year-old document rather than disdain for it. And as a result, we will achieve, sooner rather than later, a national immigration system that respects the Constitution and embodies its sacred values. We are anchored in a deep love of country, grounded in the recognition that all communities have and will contribute to our nation's greatness. So we will push forward and achieve a rhetorical patriotism that is defined by inclusion rather than exclusion. And as a result, we will achieve a system of true equal educational opportunity for all, with the firm knowledge that educating all will serve our nation's most enduring needs. As we push forward as a community toward achievement, MALDEF will assuredly play a central role as the Latino legal voice for civil rights in America. And we will achieve, with the continued support and collaboration of so many allies here and throughout the land. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your ongoing partnership in this tremendous endeavor.
Yes, let's give him a round of applause, and also to Eva Longoria Parker. Nice. In theater, this is what you would call a standing ovation, standing O. Our next presenter has starred in a number of iconic Latino films such as El Norte, Real Women Have Curves, Zoot Suit, and Selena. She has also worked with some of the entertainment's best directors such as Luis Valdez, Steven Spielberg, Taylor Hackford, and James L. Brooks, and has co-starred with Jack Nicholson, Woody Allen, Jennifer Lopez, Forrest Whitaker, America Ferrera, and Eva Longoria Parker. What a tough job this lady has. Lupe Ontiveros continues her work as an activist on issues like domestic violence prevention and AIDS awareness and prevention. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Emmy-nominated actress Lupe Ontiveros.
That's good wine talking to you right there. Todo se le mueve a uno. Buenas noches, damas y caballeros. I am so wonderfully pleased to be here tonight to listen to what Tomas just said. Eva, thank you for being who you are. The consciousness we cannot forget. We can never forget where we came from. Si eres de Venezuela, o de Colombia, o de Perú, de donde sea, de Cuba. We are Latinos. And this organization takes care of Latino issues, no matter who the heck you are. ¿No es así? Me imagino que hay muchos latinos aquí. This old thing can stand up here and say just about anything, can't I? So hold on to your seat. It is my great honor and privilege to be here to present someone who is not only my dear friend, y lo digo de todo corazón. I'm going to deviate a bit here from the dialogue and say to you that for those of you who have ever been in love, made love, listened to music about love, it was with Jose Jose. I love it. Look at him. Oh, look at him. Espérate, caballero, todavía no termino. Tengo mucho que decir de ti. Te quiere venir para acá conmigo. He said, shy that he is. No, tengo mucho que decir de ti. I got a lot to say about you, kid. I call him my big brother because I adore him, I adore his family, and I wanted to share with his permission. The formalities of what we have to say do not measure up to what we feel we have a right to say about each person that we are going to honor. And last year, the year before last, Jose's family went through the most horrific situation that any family can think about. His wife, Sarita, became gravely ill at the point of death. And it was the prayers of everyone and all your fans, the love of your people, the love that you have shared with us through your music and your God-giving humanitarianism, for which we're going to talk about right now, and our prayers in the good Lord, the divine, and she is here with us tonight. Sarita, párate. Cubanita mexicana. She is with us. And their daughter, Sarita, pequeña, her daughter. All right, here we go. I said it was my honor, and it is that he's a dear friend. Yes, of course. And more than anything else, let's go back to this thing here. He is also a person who is revered by Latinos all over the world. Hablamos del amor. I think I conceived my 3 sons con tu música. I only asked my husband, I don't remember. He is one of Mexico's most beloved recording artists of all time. In 2004, he received his star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame, and throughout his career has received 9 Grammy nominations. In 2007, he starred in La Fea Más Bella, or sea, Ugly Betty, y que fue a ser un gran éxito allá en México y también aquí with my baby America Ferrera. So those ugly ones, we have a lot to say. Anyway, This telenovela had the highest ratings of any Spanish language program of all time, of course. That was due to the major fan base de mi estimado hermano, José José. Last year, the Latin Grammys produced an all-star tribute to honor his stellar career. Tonight, we are not here to honor the Prince of Song, el príncipe de la canción. Estamos aquí para honrar, reconocer los logros de José José, el hombre, el humanitario, for his humanitarianism, el príncipe de la canción, for his major contribution in music, but to honor José José. Escuchen aquí, please, the video.
José José is an evergreen. He is somebody that sings with such emotion. He's an interpreter of song, the ultimate interpreter of song. He is such a great singer that they named him twice, José José.
I first met José in the early 90s when I was working for his record label, BMG Ariola, BMG US Latin here in the United States. My parents were humongous fans of José José and always played his music. So when he walked in the door, it was just like, I was very nervous. You know, being of Mexican heritage, living in the United States, I mean, to meet a legendary Mexican artist was a big deal.
The first time I met José José was as a booking agent, and he came to perform at Universal Studios at the Universal Amphitheater. And I just remember his striking force walking into the backstage, and his kindness to everyone, his joy for being there, being an entertainer.
José José was born José Romulo Sosa Ortiz. He was born in Mexico. His father was an opera singer and his mother was a concert pianist. He was in the OTI competition and he sang a song called El Triste, which catapulted him to overnight success. He went on to record many, many albums, become a Mexican icon, also an international icon.
He turned out to be just such an amazing human being and such a wonderful humanitarian that I was even more in awe of him, honestly, that somebody with that much fame could just be such a caring person to everybody, from a waiter in a restaurant or a busboy who he would, go and say hello to and thank him for doing a good job, and to anybody on the street who came up to him. You knew that every single person he met was important to him, and that's what I admire about him the most.
I think what drives José José is his ability to carry his message. I think it goes way beyond the music. He is, in my opinion, one of the chosen people, like Dolores Huerta, like a Cesar Chavez.
I remember taking him to a couple of events, the World Vision events. I knew he was really trying to fight hunger. He participated in the Spanish version of We Are the World to try to help fight hunger in Africa. He did Navidad en el Barrio here in Los Angeles, trying to help the kids of LA, the market that has given him so much. Every time somebody called him to participate in something for a good cause, he was on board. If it helped somebody, he wanted to be there, and if he can get there, he would get there and he would participate.
He has the ability to reach the masses with a good message, and people follow that message. I mean, you have a lot of celebrities that use their celebrity to say irrelevant things. José has something to say.
José, besides being timeless, his music has no boundaries. Not a lot of people know this, but before he got into his singing, he was playing the bass in a jazz band. And I think that's kind of where he got his smoothness, where he's known kind of like the Latin Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, where it's not just women who love him for his crooning, but it's also men love him because he has that, he's a man's man, very smooth. Even though he sang ballads, the men loved him as well.
Qué triste fue decirnos adiós cuando nos adorábamos más. hasta la golondrina emigró, presagiando el final. Qué triste.
He is someone that people identify. He's had these trials and tribulations. The music resonates. He is, I think it's his accessibility and his honest appreciation and wanting to connect.
The Mexican population that has really embraced him over the years and who have cared for him, because you can really feel it when he's performing on stage.
I think Jose deserves this award for his amazing trajectory, not only in music, but also in giving. He is a giver, and he has a lifelong career in doing both.
I hope that he's remembered for the human side. Because I think for Jose, he knows that he's a wonderful and great artist. I think he knows that. I think knowing Jose, what would be important for him is to be remembered for everything he did for his fellow man.
Compasión y piedad, la historia de este amor se escribió para la eternidad.
She's gonna talk, huh? She's still gonna talk?
Amor, como el nuestro, no hay dos en la vida. Por más que se busque, por más que se esconda, tú duermes conmigo toditas las noches, te quedas callada sin ningún reproche. Por eso te quiero, por eso te adoro. Eres en mi vida todo mi tesoro. Por eso regreso borracho de angustia, te lleno de besos y caricias mustias, pero estás dormida, no sientes caricias. Te abrazo a mi pecho, me duermo contigo. Mas luego despierto, tú no estás conmigo. Solo está mi A veces te miro, callada y ausente, y sufro en silencio, como tanta Por su regreso borracho de angustia, te lleno de besos y caricias mustias, pero estás dormida, no sientes caricias. Te abrazo a mi pecho, me duermo contigo, mas luego despierto, tú no estás conmigo. Solo estás
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor. First of all, I want to say, how's that for making love to a pillow? Because that's what it is. It's a pillow. Thank God it wasn't me. Ladies and gentlemen, MALDEF is honored to recognize el príncipe de la canción, the one and only, nada más hay uno, José José, with its Lifetime Achievement Award for Leadership in the Arts. Te saludo, mi hermano. José José.
Una mañana linda, como una flor, tu corazón al sol le mostrarás. Una mañana.
Thank you. Oh my God, what a marvelous night. I never thought many, many years ago when I had a privilege to meet Mr. Cesar Chavez. I think the point of the beginning of this energy we're trying to follow together. I never thought I was being here now, trying to be part of that marvelous energy. We're trying to never get lost. Because our people, as Thomas Sanz says minutes ago, deserved everything. We're humans. That's why, for me, this moment makes me feel so proud for being here to say thank you. Thank you, God, for letting me be part of this community, for letting me be part of this marvelous energy, for letting me be part of MALDEF. Because I have a lot of friends in Mexico, Latin America, and I really never thought to have a lot of partnership with millions of couples here in the United States also. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be part of your love, of your romantic moments, as Lupita says. Yeah. Because it is, I think it is my mission. I think it is my mission inside of MALDEF because the legal part have the best representation in Thomas Sanz right now. That's what I would like to say. Thanks for your friendship. David Damian, Thomas Sanz, Eva Longoria, Lupita. Thank you. As I said, Toño Villaraigosa, our mayor, thanks for letting me be part of your group or your team. Thank you for letting me cooperate with you in my humble cooperation with my voice. Thank you for letting be my voice part of MALDEF voice in the United States. God bless you all. Thank you.
Bravo, bravo.
Una mañana linda.
What a beautiful man. Our next presenter starred in Tyler Perry's I Can Do Bad All By Myself and was featured in the hit TV show Ugly Betty. But he is best known for playing the tall, dark, and handsome role of Eric Delco on the hit TV series CSI Miami, which I watch. He's also one of the Latino community's agents of change. He spends a lot of his free time encouraging young Latinos to exercise their right to vote and to represent their communities in civic affairs. Please welcome Adam Rodriguez.
Thank you. For decades, Ramona Ripston has been one of the region's most respected and outspoken voices on civil rights and civil liberties issues ranging from education and police reform to privacy, freedom of speech, and the rights of immigrants and homeless people. Ramona has been a rock for the ACLU and was the first woman to assume a leadership role in the organization during a time of enormous change in our country. Some of her many accomplishments include ending segregationist policies at the Los Angeles Unified School District, spurring meaningful reform at the LAPD, fighting successfully for voting rights for Latinos, and providing leadership in battles for equal rights for the disabled, immigrants, gays and lesbians, and the homeless. Let's take a look at the video.
Ramona, as we all know, has been the head of the ACLU of Southern California for 38 years. Anyone who has been involved in social justice in Southern California knows Ramona. She has been a pillar of the civil rights community in Southern California and just a joy to work with.
She takes it very personally when she sees any injustice, and it affects her. It's not only an intellectual opposition to injustice, it's a very emotional one.
She's literally changed the face of civil liberties in America. She's changed it because in that office in Southern California, she showed us how to make a real difference in the world. She pushed an agenda to make sure that civil liberties and civil rights included a focus on the poor, that had to focus on poverty and economic injustice.
Her commitment to individual rights, to the Constitution, is embedded in her DNA.
It was very early in her life that she's always been dedicated to civil rights and civil liberties. She grew up in Queens, and she went to Hunter College and became interested in civil rights immediately, went to work for the New York Civil Liberties Union, although she went to work as a volunteer. And she was so good, they finally forced her to take a paying job.
The word to describe Ramona is, sort of action in motion, vibrant, determined, and also extraordinarily stylish.
She's not just a remarkable force. She's not just glamorous and thoughtful. She's a fighter. Don't be fooled with those beautiful nails. She'll scratch your eyes out if you get in the way of justice.
She was the first woman executive director of an ACLU group. She was the first woman in any important office. There were no women lawyers when she started. And she set a whole trend and made it possible for so many others to follow, and just being that kind of a pioneer.
She built that office that was basically almost bankrupt at the time into our largest and most strongest and most visionary affiliate.
The ACLU of Southern California and MALDEF joined together in some of the major litigation that have changed the face of some of our institutions. The one that comes to mind is the litigation on 187 under the leadership of Ramona. A lot of those cases that we partner with were cases that involve not only the Latino community, but the disempowered community in Southern California.
She's a remarkable woman who over the years has grown, has pushed the envelope, has mentored people like me. I could never have accomplished what I have without Ramona Ripston's help.
Unfortunately, this award was more important to Ramona than I would have liked. For years, we had tried to find a time to take a trip to Israel. Everything was all set, and then Ramona got a call from MALDEF saying, "We want to give you an award." And she called me and said, "Cancel the trip to Israel." I said, "So, you're getting lots of awards." "Oh, but MALDEF is really something special to me." I said, "Well, She said, "No, I'm not saying would you cancel your trip. I'm telling you, you are canceling the trip."
Ramona is leaving the ACLU and will find a new endeavor and a new stage in her life. It's hard for me to believe that Ramona will retire in the traditional sense of retirement. Ramona is just moving on to other projects.
In Spanish, my mother would always say to me as a little boy, "Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres." Tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are. And I'm just thrilled to be walking with Ramona, now and into the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present MALDEF's 2010 Excellence in Legal Service Award to Ramona Ripston.
Well, 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 to be introduced by such a handsome young man. That has to be the moment of the evening. I want to thank Tom Sains and MALDEF for this wonderful, wonderful award. It is truly, truly one of my career highlights. Mine has been a wonderful and exciting journey despite my forthcoming retirement, a journey that will continue. There is still so much work to be done in America and in California. When I arrived in California, we had a public education system that was the envy of the entire nation. Now we are 46 in expenditures per student, and this was before the budget cuts of 2009 and 2010. Our initiative system has contributed to a culture where far too often the voices of the people are drowned out by the money of the wealthy and the most narrow-minded. Heavily funded initiatives have made it more difficult for people of color to enter our university system, robbed gays and lesbians of their civil rights, unwise criminal justice policies that bear most heavily on young Latino and Black males. No propositions have been more pernicious and mean-spirited than 209, which banned affirmative action, and 187, which discriminated against Latinos in every conceivable way, from withholding essential medical services from undocumented people to depriving their children of a fair and equal education. And too many of us still live in segregated neighborhoods, go to segregated schools, live segregated lives, and live in constant fear that our families will be separated by the immigration authorities. And the rest of the rest, and I in the ACLU have worked on all of these things. We've worked closely with MALDEF on each and every one of these issues. Still, there is much work to be done. Our state will be only as good as we make it. Our state will be only as just as we make it. Dignity, quality, human rights, a decent standard of living for all, a hope for the future. These principles will have only as much or as little influence on our public policy as we succeed in giving them. These principles will lift our lives only as much as we allow ourselves to have it happen. Our state, so diverse, ethically diverse, and with so much talent, capable of producing so much economic prosperity, must regain forefront of social change civil rights, and equal justice. We must show the world what it means to function in a multi-ethnic, civically engaged democracy, and we must represent the best of what it means to be a Californian and an American. So as long as I am able to, I intend to remain a part of that struggle along with you. Thank you again for allowing me to do so.
Our next presenter is a commissioner for the City of Los Angeles. She's a fashion and beauty expert and has a cosmetic line, Kissable Couture. She has been featured as a correspondent and host on E!, TLC, TV Guide, and Extra. She pens a column for O.com entitled Every Monday Matters. Keisha is the executive producer of the critically acclaimed, award-winning documentary, Kasim the Dream, about a former child soldier. Keisha and her husband, Forrest, are solid partners in their philanthropic endeavors and are the honorary committee of artists for New South Africa, and also support Hope North, an orphanage based in northern Uganda. Please welcome Commissioner Keisha Whitaker.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here again. Thank you for having me back in another year. And I just want to know if I'm the only one who smells great in this room. Because are you wearing Eva Longoria Parker's perfume? Because I am, and you should all be. So if you're not wearing it, spray it. No, it's such an honor to be here, and I want to thank my friend David Damien. I love you so much. You're always so supportive, so thank you. Let's give a round of applause for him. Thank you so very much. It means the world to me to be appreciated. It is my honor to introduce a leader who understands that education is the civil rights issue of our time. He has fought tirelessly to bring about educational reform to public schools. He has also fought hard to bring immigration reform in Los Angeles and our nation's capital, to ensure that the undocumented immigrants come out of the shadows and have a pathway to citizenship, which they so deserve. Yeah, exactly. He is the first Latino mayor in over 100 years. I mean, come on, that's incredible. Please help me welcome the leader of the great city of Los Angeles, Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa. I practiced that, by the way. I hope my pronunciation was perfect. Let's take a look at the video.
Living in the time of Antonio Villaraigosa, I think, has changed politics in LA, and everyone has had to step it up, especially on the east side, where so many people really saw the Antonio Villaraigosa experience as an opportunity and invitation to get involved with voting and government and their communities.
He reminds us that we are greater together than alone. He's always talking about how we have so many different cultures, and those cultures are so vibrant, and that by working together, we can have a stronger community.
There is no mayor in this nation who has stood out
so early on and so consistently about immigration reform. No one like Mayor Villaraigosa.
Today, he has really taken the lead to reform education and to make sure that every child has the opportunity to fulfill his or her potential.
He never let obstacles stop that commitment that every kid should have a chance to read and write, think and believe, and dream big, as he invited us to do in 2005. And so when he looks at the kids at Sunrise and says, "I believe in you, do you believe in you?" And he tells the story that his mom asked him, you know, "Do you believe in you? Because I believe in you." And so he knows, regardless of the circumstances of your life, personal power and personal will and the investment of others in you is a life-changing experience. And so I think what drives him is that belief in change, that belief in what is possible, and the belief in every person.
I think there's so many things that the mayor has led and that he's pioneered. He was a leader around Measure R, which is creating the revenue that we need in Los Angeles for expanding public transportation. Well, our community relies on public transportation a lot, and he's devoted to working people to making sure that there's public transportation for them to get to work. However, he also knows that that's better for our environment. So whether or not you are a low wage or high wage earner, you need and we need to get people out of their cars and into public transportation.
I think Antonio has been a wonderful mayor in Los Angeles. He's been dynamic, he's been inclusive, and he has done a great job for the people of Los Angeles.
He's experienced all the Chicano greats, Ed Roybal, Esteban Torres, Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez. I've heard him acknowledge the role that other leaders have played in mentoring him and supporting him. But I always think it comes back to his mom. She was a very powerful lady for him. She was a woman of substance that wouldn't give up, that didn't let things stop her, and whether she was taking the bus to the parent-teacher conference or figuring out how to juggle the jobs, she was committed to her family.
She taught him there are no barriers for him and that he can become what he really wants to be. And I think he has done that and inspired us all in the process.
I believe that the mayor deserves MALDEF's Excellence in Government Service Award because he has devoted most of his life to public service. And he's helped us get the results that we need.
I'm most proud about seeing leadership that stands for something, seeing leadership that calls on others to be better, leadership that is human, leadership that is visionary, and leadership that makes everyone want to pitch in.
I want to say that MALDEF is proud to recognize the mayor of our city of Los Angeles, who I would feel so privileged and honored to call a friend of my family, Antonio Villagrosa. Congratulations on your award for excellence in government. I'm so honored to be part of this. I love you. Thank you so much. All my papers.
Well, first of all, let me thank Keisha for being here, and both Keisha and Forrest are friends, and what is, I think, beautiful about the two of them is that they've never forgotten where they come from, and they've always understood that in a city like this, we need to reach out. Thank you so much, Keisha.
Thank you.
Give her a big hand. Let me acknowledge our honorees today. Let me just say, you know, in public life, you meet many people, people of power and privilege, people who are poor, people black, white. The one thing that comes to mind when I think about Jose is a humble man. a man who's never forgotten where he comes from. And yes, I have made love to your music. But more importantly, hey, I had to say that one, you know. I wasn't gonna miss that opportunity. But more importantly, when you meet Jose, you see a man of a giant heart, who loves his community, is proud of who he is, and I just want to say we love you so much. Jose, gracias. Don Pepe. And Ramona and I have known each other for more than 25 years. I can tell you she's a lion, a lioness, a woman who never ever stands down when it comes to fighting for justice. And I couldn't be prouder to call her a friend, a comrade, a sister. She and Stephen have been like family for me, and I just want to say you are a most deserving honoree tonight. Ramona Ripston. And Tomas, wherever you are, Tom, let me just say that my fortune was having you as my legal counsel. The credibility you gave me, your civil rights credentials, your commitment to the Latino community, to justice, your brilliance, frankly, was something that really added to my first few years as mayor. And wherever you are, let's give him a big hand for his leadership. To all of you, you've heard me say many times, but I think it's important at events like tonight that I say it again. Yes, I am the first, but the role of the first is to open up the door for the rest. I've always understood that I was the first because there were many people who came before me. I stood on the shoulders of others. Dolores Huerta was mentioned, Cesar Chavez, Tom Bradley, Martin Luther King. The civil rights movement opened up the country to me and to so many of you. But MALDEF has been there all along the way. And you know, in a world where we sometimes see the world just in two different shades, people don't understand the role of this organization in opening up the country, in standing up for the immigrant, and speaking out for our kids in our schools. At every turn, whether it was Proposition 209 or 187 or SB 1070, this organization has been there, and I want to thank you because I acknowledge that I received this award in no small part because of the opportunities that MALDEF has given me as an assembly member, a council member, and now as mayor. So please give them a big hand. And of course, you know, and I want to remind you all, and I know somebody must have mentioned it, but you know, most of us grew up humble. Almost none of us grew up with, you know, servants and meseros at the table. So my mother taught me that we always say thank you to the people who bring the food to our table. And I'd like to acknowledge the servers who are here, wherever you are. I never, ever, ever forget you. And I never forget you because I know how hard you work. I know the sacrifices you make so that your kids can have a better life. So thank you to all the servers who are here today. I want to talk about two things, and MALDEF is very important to those things. You know, I think a lot of people miss the point of SB 1070. You know, everybody talked about the fact that SB 1070 was an odious law, that it would discriminate, that it would scapegoat a community, and that was all true, that it was unconstitutional. What was particularly reprehensible was not just AB 1070 or SB 1070. Let's look back a little bit at what people were doing, what they were proposing. They proposed SB 1070, yes, and we all know that there were copycat bills across the country and the furor that it created and the like. But as importantly, a little known directive, the Department of Education, that basically changed the rules and said, if you have an accent, you can't teach English as a second language. Went kind of under the radar. Would mean in this state that our governor couldn't teach English as a second language. But it wasn't targeted at him. It was targeted at us. And then there were proposals to strip the citizenship of citizen children who were the children of the undocumented. Basically eviscerate the 14th Amendment. I think violate every notion of what we perceive as our rights under the Constitution as a general proposition. There were proposals to deny people electricity in their homes. Do you remember that one? This wasn't just one bill. This was a movement. And MALDEF was our firewall. MALDEF said, hold it. This great country of ours has a constitution, and we're going to fight for it because we love America, and we aren't going anywhere. Whenever I'm at a rally, I like to say, aquí estamos y no nos vamos. I don't... What we have to understand today, this is an assault on an entire community. When you see, and shame on those organizations that allowed those commercials to air, even if they aired for only a day. When you see legitimate mainstream media stations putting on the air commercials saying to us, I mean, when have you ever in an election seen a commercial that said, don't go out and vote? I don't know about you, and there are a lot of elected officials, my whole life that I've been knocking on doors, or at least in my public life, you're asking people to come out and vote. These people were telling us not to vote. When you think about the commercials that Meg Whitman and Carly Fiorina ran, when you think about the Sharon Angle commercials, when you think about the Senate commercials by the Republican, the Tea Party, the Tea Bagger, I call them the Tea Baggers. Yeah, they're Tea Baggers. When you see the commercials that the Senate candidate Buck in Colorado and all across the country ran, we got to stand up. We can't be afraid to get behind MALDEF. And we've also got to make it absolutely clear, there is another way. Jerry Brown and Barbara Boxer won overwhelmingly because of the Latino vote. Harry Reid will tell you, if he was here and he said it on election night, that he won in no small part because of the Latino vote. It was the Latino community that made the difference for Senator Bennett in Colorado. When you stand up with our community, we stand up with you. And I say that because, you know, and sometimes I'm a little hard on these dinners because everybody here's got a nice suit. They all got a good job. But sometimes we don't want to rock the boat. Well, you know what? The role of the first is not to pass through the door and pound on his chest and say, I'm the first. The role of the first is to make sure that people come after you. And that's the same role that every one of you have. We cannot allow, and there are Republicans in this room, and that's fine. There are Democrats in this room, and that's fine. We can't allow any party to stigmatize and scapegoat an entire community in the way that we've seen over the last few days. And what's important about MALDEF is MALDEF understands that we cannot be marginalized. And so in virtually everything they do, they're working with the NAACP. They're working with the ACLU. They're working with the Asian Pacific Legal Center. Stuart was speaking a few minutes ago. They're working across ethnicities and race with progressives who understand that this community is here to stay. We're not going anywhere. Just a few days ago, I believe the number was 8, may have been 7, senators asked the Secretary of Homeland Security how much would it cost to deport everybody in some detention facility because they're undocumented today. We know that no country, none, anywhere in the history of the world has ever deported 12 million people. We know that those 12 million people have 5 million citizen children. We need to stand up. We need to speak out. We need to remember where we came from. We need to never, ever, ever forget that they're really talking about you. And finally, let me once again raise the issue of education. We are here, as I said, almost all of us dressed in a suit, college graduates, the vast majority of us, living very, very well because America's good. But we're also here because after a lot of struggle and a big movement, we opened up America and we made her better. This issue of education that you've heard me talk about for 5 years, that I got up here last year and did fire and brimstone on, it is the civil rights issue of our time. If our kids can't read and write, they won't be able to challenge laws like SB 1070. They won't become the lawyers and the doctors and the elected officials and the journalists and all of the opinion makers that can really change the tide of scapegoating that we see occurring in the country today. When you hear me, and I want to thank MALDEF and the ACLU, because for some time I've been saying this is a civil rights issue. And I want to acknowledge the ACLU particularly because earlier this year, they went to court to vindicate the idea that the schools, the lowest performing schools in the poorest part of the city, can't always get the least senior teachers who are the first laid off. You can't lose 50% of your teaching staff. That's just not good enough. Our kids deserve better. And I would submit to you that this year, MALDEF, the ACLU, and other civil rights organizations are going to begin to challenge even more of these status quo issues. These kids deserve better. It would be a shame that there were so many lawyers in this room who graduated 10, 15, maybe 5 years ago, many of them some time ago, and you go back to your alma mater and you still see a handful. And that's what will happen if we don't challenge these schools. So I want to thank you for honoring me. I want to say to you that I want to continue to stand up with MALDEF and you to make this city a better place, to make America all that it's held out to be, to challenge those who would scapegoat and stigmatize us, but most importantly, to join hands for a better America. Thank you so much.
I'd like to point out that the mayor is a graduate of MALDEF's Leadership Institute. Let's give a warm round of applause to all of tonight's honorees. Let's also give another warm round of applause to Walmart and Bank of America. Well, we hope to see you again next year at MALDEF's 2011 Los Angeles Awards Gala. On behalf of everyone at MALDEF, thank you and good night.